Alright, what's going on everybody? It's Thundershot, and the first thing I guess I wanted to say is hello and welcome to the wonderful, lovable world of Chao. I really think this playthrough is going to go on a lot longer than I thought. Anyways, just as kind of a heads up, first of all, this very first session, and only the first session, I promise, was recorded like when I filmed my first session of the actual gameplay of Sonic Adventure 2, so I don't have everything unlocked yet, and for Chao that's not important. I just figured I'd give you a heads up as to why I'm missing certain stages and upgrades and stuff like that. And secondly, we're going to go on a long adventure with these guys. Like I said, I think this playthrough is going to be longer than I thought, but there's so much to do with these guys. You raise them, you put them in races, they fight each other in karate, you move them to different, entire different settings you can mess with, you give them toys, and they watch TV, they interact together. It's amazing what you guys are about to go through. So if you've never seen any Chao Garden before, if you've never had your own Chao Garden before in any kind of Sonic game, anything like that, then you're in for a real treat, especially later on down the road. But yeah, we're going to be introducing stuff like that today. However, if you're kind of a Chao veteran, if you've had your own Chao Garden, if you've raised your own Chao really far, if you've watched other people's Chao Garden playthroughs, these first two parts here are going to be an introduction to Chao. First two parts are going to mainly be for people who have no idea what Chao is. In the first part, we get introduced to our Chao really well. We understand them. We learn how to get into the garden, stuff like that. And then in part two, we're going to learn what Chao drives do and how to obtain them, and the influence of hero characters and dark characters. So if you're a Chao veteran, I'm not going to blame you for skipping these first two parts. I just wanted to give you a heads up so you weren't bored out of your mind for these first two parts. All I really do is name the Chao. That's the only thing you're able to find out. That and their grades and stuff. But if you're new to the Chao series, by all means, sit back and enjoy. I hope I explain everything. If I don't, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below. Anyways, I've dawdled this intro on too long. So yeah, take it away, me. Hello, everyone. What's going on? It's Thundershot, and welcome to the Chao Garden section of the Sonic Adventure 2 playthrough. That's right, I didn't mention it before, but this game has a very insane amount of replayability. And what I mean by that is you can go back, you can play this game multiple times, there are a lot of stuff you can do with it, and I'm about to show you, this is only like half the replayability, but there's a super special thing in this game mode, in this game, called the Chao Garden. Now I haven't unlocked that yet, so I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to do that. Shouldn't pick story mode. Let's do... Oh, what can I do fast? We'll do City Escape. Let's do City Escape. So, I'm going to tell you guys about the Chao Garden, but first, we have to get to it. So, if you just turn this game on, if you have no idea what you're doing, you actually have to unlock the Chao Garden, and I'll show you how to do that in this level here. First of all, yes, you do have to be in the main game. It doesn't matter if you're in the story or in a stage select. You have to... What am I trying to say? There's a way to get into the Chao Garden via every level, so don't worry if you miss out on one level or something like that or you don't know where it is. Although I am telling you right here, the first start of the story mode is probably the easiest way I can think of. Any level you play is going to have a way to get into the Chao Garden. You'll see what I mean when we get there. So, is it over here? I don't think there's one over here. Nope, wrong one. Oh well. So the first thing you're doing is just playing through the level until you get to the part I'm about to show you, where the little entrance is. This is a poster for Chao in Space 2. Apparently there was a poster for Chao in Space 1 in Sonic Adventure 1. Like I've said before, I never played Sonic Adventure 1, but... it's nice that they have a sequel, I guess. Okay, so we were rolling up on the spot. I probably should have picked one with an earlier Chao. Container is what you're going to be using to get in there. Hit my jump. And here we go. We're going to take out these bad guys that don't mess with us, because I hate it when... What happened? There we go. I hate it when bad guys mess with us. There we go. So up here, let's let Oma Chao explain it. So there we go. I opened a Chao container. There was a key there, and the key will take me to the Chao Garden later. So that's cool. But like Oma Chao said, there are actually 3 Chao keys per stage. Or Chao containers per stage. There we go, gold beetle, that's nice. So in the second one, you'll see there are a bunch of animals, and these are actually good animals. I'll explain more about good and bad animals later. They're not really bad animals, but good and not as good animals later. So we're gonna go with the third one, and then I believe we have to finish the level. I'm not sure if just pushing exit stage will work or not. If somebody knows, please let me know. I don't know why he keeps freezing at the top like that. The last couple times I played through City Escape, he freezes at the top like that, and usually he would keep going. Anyways, third Chao one. This is a super special animal. If you get all 3 boxes in a Chao Garden, you will usually get a very, very super Chao animal for the third box, and that's your reward kind of for getting all 3. And then from here on out, we finish the level, so I think I'm just going to cut till we get to the end of City Escape, so I don't bore you guys anymore. See you there. Give me my regular score, and then we will be inducted. Inducted is not the right word. We will be taken to the Chao Garden. Still got the A rank. You can still suck my balls. So welcome to Chao World. This is what it looks like. Now, from here on out, we will be able to use the stage select feature to get to Chao World, but the first time getting in here, you actually have to crack this. It's taken so long to load because I just deleted my previous Chao data, so it's got to erase everything, and now we're back here. So this is the Chao main lobby. There is no behind us yet. I didn't even notice that. Okay, cool. Oh, wait, yes, there is. No, there isn't. Yeah. There's going to be a door here soon enough, but I didn't know that they did that. Anyways, this is the Chao Garden. It's got a very interesting soundtrack. I don't understand it, but I used to try to get into the Chao Garden or wherever I was trying to go before they started singing, because for whatever reason as a kid I didn't like being in here when they started singing. But yeah, this is a Chao Garden, and come along with me to my adventure. Like I said, this playthrough is actually going to be a two-part playthrough because of the main storyline and the Chao Garden. The Chao Garden is something that is always amazing to me. Play through it differently every time. It is just really, really incredible. So, anyways, there are 2 Chao eggs here, as you'll see. Now, the only thing that sucks, well, I'll get more into that later. So we're going to take 1 Chao egg with us. You can wait for them to hatch on your own. You can pick them up and chuck them against the wall, and they'll come out. They'll come out of the egg. But that's not really recommended because then they hate you. Or you can sit here and you can shake it. Now, you may be wondering, what the fuck is a Chao, man? Get to the point. And we are going to find out momentarily, but I'll explain it to you while he hatches. So you do that for about 4 seconds or so, and it'll come out. Or maybe even 4 swings back and forth. And then they'll begin to come out. But Chao are like... The way I've always seen them is they're a mix. They're like half human, not half human. They're like, they'd be like the equivalent of a half perpetual child and half animal, if that makes any sense. That's how you treat them. You treat them kind of as if they were your children, but also pets. It's really strange, the relationship that Chao have. They are neutral genders, but look at him. Look at the little guy. You'll ask me, well, you're going to be wondering what the point of Chao is here in a second, but I'll tell you what, we're going to get both these guys out. And you can do all kinds of shit with Chao. First of all, I'll explain what Chao drives and animals are to Chao soon enough, but I need to get both of them out because I have to test something out first. So there we go, that's long enough. But you can take Chao on, you can have him go race against other Chao and then also fight in a karate tournament are the 2 main things that you raise Chao for. Those are their sole purpose pretty much, is to get you more medals and stuff. Okay, so we didn't get lucky, none of them have a face. That's unfortunate. But yeah, you take them on races. They fight in karate tournaments. You can make them look a certain way. You can take them to classes. They can learn stuff. Actually, we're going to go take care of some of this stuff right now. So let me take you on an adventure, little Chao. Take them to classes. They can learn stuff. They can learn how to like sing and dance and draw you pictures and a bunch of cool shit like that. Like they learn to do backflips. I mean, just a bunch of stuff. If they win races and tournaments, they unlock toys for themselves that they can play with in the Chao Garden. They can watch TV. I mean, just a bunch of stuff you can do with a Chao. But first of all, we're going to go to the health center so I can explain to you guys ranking system of Chao. And to me, this is almost the least fun part of raising Chao. But let's see the doctor first of all. He's not sick. Seeing the doctor was pointless. Let's look at his medical charts. This is where it comes in handy. There are 2 Chao. One of them has really bad stats, always, every time. And the other one is this Chao, and every time... From what I remember, you will always get a D, A, E, B, or C for your Chao ratings. Or a D, A, E, B, and C for your Chao ratings for the first 2 Chao you have. No matter what, those are just the Chao in the garden, and their ratings don't change, and that sucks. Because if they did change, I would keep restarting my Chao garden until I got one with good ratings. But anyways, as you can see, these are used in both... Sorry, I'm dying. Let me take a sip of Coke real quick. Anyways, these ratings are used in both race and karate, but the ones that are displaying right now are the ones that are helpful for the racing. So in races, your Chao will swim, they will fly, they will run, they will need power to shake trees and climb walls, and then they also have overall stamina. And the better your grades are, the more your Chao will... let's just get out of here. The better your grades are, the more points your Chao gets when he levels up. You see those things are called Chao drives, those little bars that I showed you before. I'll show you again. And then you give Chao drives and animals to your Chao. and it will raise their levels. And when their levels go up, if your Chow has an A rank, he'll go up like 30 points when he goes up a level, which helps him run faster and stuff like that. Or if he has an E rank, which is the lowest rank possible, it'll go up like 5 points, and it's god-awful. So the rating system kind of sucks. But anyways, we're going to get a name from the fortune teller. So we're not going to name him Loose. He's not a whore at high school. We're not going to give him the nickname Loose. Now, you can have the fortune teller do as many nicknames as you want. Soul? Fine. Fuck it, we'll be Soul. Or you can pick your own name. Now, the thing about the other Chow is I know the other Chow is going to have bad stats. We'll bring him back, and I'll show you guys. But this is going to be our main Chow. We're kind of going to ignore the other Chow because he's not going to be able to help us with a whole lot. If I remember correctly, he may have one good stat, one good thing that'll be useful for breeding him for. But I'm getting way too ahead of myself. This Chow Garden is such a big part of this game to me. So, as you can see with our firstborn, they can't swim. He's struggling here. They'll never drown or anything, so you don't have to worry about that. But they can't swim. They have a run stat, but they can't run. If you shove them off, don't shove them off a cliff. If you put them on the edge of a cliff, they'll fall more likely than they will fly. Bunch of stuff to note there. But we're going to go name this guy and look at all of his crappy stats. And then from there, I'm going to kind of take the Chow Garden into my own hands. There's a lot of different things you can do with the Chow Garden. What I personally like to do when I do the Chow Garden is I'm going to jump ahead a little bit. This is something we're not going to see for a while, but you can breed Chow. They have to be over a year old. Okay, so he has an A in running. So he's going to be our running power Chow. Maybe these stats aren't set. I don't know. I remember there being a much worse Chow for me last time. These aren't bad at all, though. Okay, so he's going to be our runner Chow. That is good to know. Maybe the other Chow was the bad one. I don't remember. Let's go name this Chow, and then I'm going to cut to make sure. I need to write down what the stats are is what I need to do. So I'm gonna do that. But let's get a name for him first, and then I will cut and see you guys in a second. What is your name going to be? Chow's lucky name is summoning the powers to be Presto. How about the name Soul? Haha, funny lady. She has like 1,000 nicknames. I don't know how she came up with Soul twice in a row. 3 times in a row. Good lord, she's on a roll. I'm assuming it's a woman. I don't know why. Powers to be Presto. How about the name Soul? Dash. That's a stupid name. No. Really? You don't like this name? Do you want a different name? No. How about naming the Chow yourself? Let's do that. This dude's name is going to be... We're just going to be really, really unoriginal, and we are going to name him... Actually, this isn't... Well, it is unoriginal, but there's a reason I'm naming him this. We're going to name him... Sonic. Like Sonic the Hedgehog, obviously. There's a reason I'm naming him this, but yes, I do like the name Sonic. It's a good name. I hope Sonic will be very healthy. See you again. Now, we're naming him Sonic because he's our runner. I'm going to take a moment to jot down the stats that these Chow have because it is important. And I will be back in a flash. Okay, everybody, I'm back, and here's the conclusion I came to. I told you before that whenever you start up a game, the grades are set, and one of my Chows was going to be good, the other one was going to be not nearly as good stat-wise, and to an extent I was right, but I was wrong on something very, very big. So this time when I got 2 Chow, one of them was good in certain areas and bad in the others, and the other one had very similar stats. Well, this is how it works. One Chow, Sonic, actually had an A in running and an E in flying, E being the worst grade possible, A being the best. And then on the other hand, Soul had an A in flying, but an E in running. Other than that, all their stats were the same. So I was wrong in the sense that their stats were not set this time around, and I did not get the same results that I got last time like I thought I would. But here's the conclusion I came to, and I'm speaking only for the HD version, definitely not the GameCube version, and I think the Dreamcast has a different Chow Garden version. I might be wrong. I think I'm wrong on that. But anyway, if you go into a game, if you start a new game, new file, you erase your Chow data from before, you start a game, you get into the game, you play till you get to the Chow Garden. Once you get in here, if you open up both the Chow eggs, and then you don't like the grades that you got, so you turn your game off without saving your Chow Garden, which is what I did before I started this playthrough. In my last Chow Garden, this is how it worked. I turned my game off before saving my Chow Garden, hoping I would get new eggs. I didn't get new eggs. That's why I thought, by I didn't get new eggs, I mean the Chow that I brought out had the same grades as they did the time before when I turned off without saving. So I assumed Chow were always set, but I don't think that's the case anymore. I think what happens is if you get Chow you don't like, you have to save your game, exit out of the game completely, go into, I went to my PlayStation hardware thing, or whatever it's called, went into my PlayStation memory, there it is, save data utility, and then I deleted my Chow Garden memory, and then once you start up again, then you can get new eggs, you can get different files. So that's a way to keep testing out Chow eggs till you get the one you want. But I'm happy with what I have. I'm happy with Sonic, and I'm happy with Soul. So Sonic here is going to 100% be our runner, and that will make more sense later. But we're going to leave Sonic as kind of a plain Jane. We'll leave him looking the way he is. Soul, however, who is going to be our flyer, since he has a high flying stat, I'm going to use animals on him, actually. It's almost like steroids, I guess, except without shrinking your nuts. Like steroids without the negative benefit, but this is how this works. So I give him an animal, right? Oh, I guess I ought to show you the difference between giving him an animal and glitching him an animal. So, first of all, this is what happens. Chao drive, animal, it doesn't matter. You give him the thing. If it's an animal, he'll take the properties. Now he has little, like, blue fox ears and fox feet and stuff like that. That's what happens when you give him an animal. Same thing with a Chao drive. I run up, I give him a Chao drive. He takes it. Chao drive disappears. Now, if you'll notice, the fox ran off. He's probably gone now. He'll go not too far, usually, and then disappear forever. But even if I wanted to... Excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. Sorry about that. Anyways, even if I wanted to, right after I give him the fox, once you give him an animal, you can't reuse that animal. So I can't pick up the fox and give it back to him again, right? That will never work. Just as an FYI. However, there are glitches in this game you can abuse, which make it so you don't have to go around and collect Chao drives forever. And they go like this. You have to stand a certain amount away, and then instead of giving them the Chao driver animal, you set it down. And what'll happen is it'll activate the Chao as if you'd given it the Chao drive. Oops, I got too close that time. Then he accidentally grabbed it, and he's got it forever. But what happens is it activates the Chao as if you had given it the Chao drive, but the Chao drive isn't close enough to actually go away. It works with animals. Oops, I accidentally gave him the rabbit. It works with animals, and in my opinion, it works better with animals, assuming you can do it correctly. I keep screwing up the glitch now. It's probably because I'm trying to talk, and I haven't done this in a while, but you got to line yourself up pretty much parallel. You drop it, and then the animals don't bounce away like Chao drives do. If you pick them up quick enough, they don't bounce away like the Chao drives do. So it's a lot easier to sit here with an animal and just feed him over and over again. Now, Soul is our flyer, and Sonic is our runner, like I've said before. So as you can see, he goes up a level. His run stat's really bad. So he went up 2 levels, and he's only got, well, now he's gone up 3 levels. He only has 35 points. But I bet you if I got Sonic to go up 1 or 2 levels, he would probably have 35 points. So that's how big the difference is. Soul has an E in running and an A in flying, and Sonic is the opposite of that. Now, I think it's funny that I got one that's good in running and one that's good in flying, because running is probably the best stat you can have in the whole game, whereas flying is the worst. See, if I give him the unicorn, like here, oops. Never mind, he took that one for real. I'll show it off again later, but there we go. So we've got, just to show you guys what it's like, I've given him animals, and as you can see, his fox ears are gone now. I gave him too many unicorns, so now he's specifically unicorn. But I'm going to keep feeding him animals. I'm going to tell you what I mean. If I give him this animal, and then I leave it sit for too long without picking it up, it will fly away. Now, it doesn't lose its animal properties. It still keeps those, but I have to go get it, and that's not fun. I'm taking away his unicorn and making him look like a skunk. Excuse me. If you'll notice, the Chao I've been giving stuff to, he's turning a lighter blue. Like, his skin is turning lighter blue, his ball on his head is a more bluish color. That's because Sonic is a good guy, and much like in the story mode, there are hero and dark characters. Hero characters will make your Chao more heroish or more good. They will start to look more like a little Chao angel. Whereas dark characters will turn your Chao black, and the ball on top of their head will turn to a more red color. And, of course, being the opposite, it turns them into more of a dark character. Now, not to worry, let's just say I don't want Soul to be a good character to start off. That's entirely fine. I can come back in here with a dark character later and pet him. Oh, yeah, I haven't even shown you guys that. You can do all kinds of shit with the Chao and pick it up, but you could pick it up, and it likes Sonic a lot because I've given him a lot of goodies, so he's already a big fan of Sonic. And then you can pet him, and that'll make a heart come up above his head eventually, and I can make him more heroic like that. But if I come back in with a dark character and I pet him, pick him up, give him food, stuff like that, he'll turn back into a normal Chao very slowly. It's a slow process, and then after that, he'll slowly turn into a dark character the more time I spend with him. So it's up to you entirely on what you want to make your Chao. I mentioned it before, this game is in the PlayStation. It'd be the equivalent of the PlayStation version of the Xbox Live Arcade. It's PlayStation Network Store, or what have you. This is an intro to Chao, though. So I think what we're going to do next is we need to get a dark character in here to even him out. I think I'll do that later, though. I'll do that stuff off screen. Okay, I got one more thing I want to show you guys for this little session I'm doing of the Chao Garden, and it's going to be how the best way, in my opinion, to obtain Chao drives. Actually, this is a good time. Oh, by the way, I just fed him a nut. Nuts fall off trees, and as you can see, every time he eats a little chunk of the nut, if he'll eat it here. If they're not hungry, they throw it behind their head. Yeah, see, he's not hungry anymore. We'll give it to this guy. Give it to Sonic. So as you can see, every time he eats part of the nut, his leveling goes up a little bit. I will tell you, animals level up Chao better than Chaos drives do, or Chao drives, whatever you want to call them. But sometimes animals, none of the animals I have, because I've gotten only good animals, and I'll talk more about that later, but none of the animals I have, but sometimes animals will raise one property a lot, but then actually lower another. So for example, there's gorillas, and I think gorillas raise, you can pick up a gorilla, and it'll raise your power property a whole bunch, but it'll like lower your running and or flying properties. So there's a bunch of different stuff you can do with these animals. But anyways, I'm now going to show you how the proper way to go about collecting chaos drives and or animals. And we're going to do that now.